Thank you, Mr Chairman. Kia ora tātou, no reira te wharai, inga iwi, inga rio, inga hawe wha, tēnā koutou, katoa, Mr Chairman, and greetings. Greetings, Mr Chairman. Mr Chairman, one can only say about this legislation, about time. About time. We've had a government that has been in this House now, in government, for nigh on 18 months. And only now, Mr Chairman, are we bringing forward this legislation. And I have to say to the House, Mr Chairman, that as Labour's spokesperson for senior citizens, I'm appalled at the slowness of the implementation of this legislation. And one could say, too little, too late. But even so, Mr Chairman, I have to acknowledge that at last, the government has moved on this legislation. Because time and time again, as I go around this country, advocating and addressing small business people and grey power groups, one of the things that I get is their concern about the slackness, about the sloppiness of the financial sector. And why is this legislation necessary? It's simple. It's to protect the unsophisticated investor. Many of them who are elderly and many of them who rely on this additional income coming in from the investment to give themselves some sort of sense of security and comfort in their old age. And why has it taken so long? Mr Chairman, I have to acknowledge the work of my colleague, friend Leanne Dalziel, because she brought legislation into the House in 2008. And she did that, Mr Chairman, because the government then, the Labour government, the fifth Labour government, led by the Honourable Helen Clark, recognised that more needed to be done in the financial advisers regime. And thank goodness that things now are starting to move. Mr Chairman, the elderly are most vulnerable, unsophisticated investors. They need proper financial advice. And this bill, this legislation, should ensure that robust advice is available and it's there for all and sundry that need it. And I want to acknowledge the support from the Honourable Member Sam Lutuinga, endorsing the views of what we are saying on this side of the House. It's about time. It's about time. Mr Chairman, investors who have lost money with around 50 mismanaged finance companies, including Bridgecorp, Hanover, St Lawrence and Strategic, are actually up in arms. And so they should be, because these people want answers from the Minister as to why only one finance company is singled out and been put into statutory management.
Sorry to interrupt the member. Can I just ask if there's going to be discussions here that they're done outside, please?
Thank you, Mr Chairman, and I appreciate the indulgence of the House. Mr Chairman, only one company put into statutory management. Only one. And we have Mr Hubbard down there in the South Island, a senior citizen. Why is he singled out? Why is he singled out? When there have been others who have been allowed to go into moratorium and receivership under similar circumstances. And investors out there tell me that they believe that this is a move by the government and it proves that authorities have been negligent for too long. Too long. And investors are saying, why only Mr Hubbard? Why only Mr Hubbard? And while it's agreed that statutory management may be necessary to prove and protect the parties in the Hubbard case, why only Mr Hubbard? Mr Chairman, the authorities have evidence that many finance companies have committed offences. Not one of the failed finance companies have been put into statutory management since the finance collapse began, yet obvious malpractice has occurred. And who loses out? Who loses out, Mr Chairman? The unsophisticated investor, the person who's not aware, and many of them senior citizens that I represent in this House. And I intend to continue to stand, Mr. Chairman. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, yes, oh, yes, 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 yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And again, thank you.
The Honourable Leanne Dalzell.